All right, this print I'm running is called Taming the Jungle, 1930, and this is Mabel Stark, very famous lion tamer of the day. Well, actually, for about 30 years after that. I'm looking for something that would be interesting to cut, maybe cut a sound effects. Oh, okay. Okay, I think that's going to work. I've got a cougar, which we're going to cheat for this leopard. And if I can find a short, okay, he's got his mouth open. I think if we find the right piece, so I'm going to come over here. We got to find a short little lineup tone. We need a short burst for the too long. Come on. Wait a minute. That's not perfect, but it ain't bad. Once I lock up the Moviola, once I lock up this sound head to the picture, we're in sync, folks. Let's see how close we are. Not too shabby. Here's the rule. Sync is 9/10 of the law. You can pretty much put anything in sync with any movement if you're close, sync-wise. If you're hard sync, but let's say you're not really using a leopard. Let's say I'm using a lion. It's amazing what your brain will buy if the effect is in sync. But we won't talk about that. Trade secrets. Hello, everybody. I'm Bruce Richardson, and welcome to my series of classes on film and sound appreciation. It's about film structure. It's about the three acts that create a film. It's about music editing. It's about sound editing. It's about great acting. It's about great cinematography. You'll just appreciate a lot more how film structure works when I dissect it for you. And we go back and forth over the possibilities. And there's some really sort of fun things that happen as I assembled the clips, that how music from one movie can work just as good, if not better, in another. The machine in front of you, I don't know if you can pull back, Doug, but the machine in front here is a Moviola. It was the workhorse of the industry for about, over 50 years. Historically, there's a couple of interesting things here. Sound was cut optically when it was invented back in 27. These flat plates had optical readers on them. And the sound effects were all printed optically on film. And the readers read them here with a little light that would shoot down, and editors would cut. Mag hadn't been invented yet. That didn't happen until 1950. In fact, Doug, I'm going to get this piece of film again. I've got a piece of film, and there is an optical track. I'm going to turn this. This is the light well. This optical track, if you can see it, but that's carrying the sound for this print. Well, sound effects are printed that way on blank film stock. Door closes, growls, everything. And when optical sound went obsolete in approximately 1950, it was pretty funny. The sound editors said they couldn't cut it. Said, no way, we can't cut what we can't see, which is pretty funny. They were going to have to use their ears. So they either made the adjustment or they hit the unemployment line. So then mag editing, and that's what these heads are here, went from 1950 to approximately 1998. This is a little tricky. This is where you got to use the back of your fingernails and push the mag against the plate. Don't try this at home. You can't even do this at home. Nobody on planet Earth can even come close to doing this. I think I have the only working Moviola in town here. Anyway, back to the prime directive here. The film class is going to be a very combination of things. It's about screenplay structure. It's about how to tell the story. It's going to be about great writing. It's going to be a compilation of just absolutely everything I can possibly think of. Just to get it all together, and it's basically a labor of love. Now I know at this point you might be saying, well, wait a minute, is this guy qualified to teach this class? Well, absolutely not. But then again, I don't think anybody is. It's just for the love of it. I did cut sound effects for about 30 years with the gentleman shooting this video. I wrote 6 screenplays, none of them sold, so I guess those don't count. But it got me into a lot of screenplay classes. And that got me into screenplay structure, how a movie opens, the importance of the way it opens, how you have hook openings and slow openings, dialogue openings, action openings. This is a critical part, and I'm going to spend a lot of time with the openings. Then we'll go on to what's in the middle of the movie. Why is it so difficult to end a movie? That's a whole nother can of worms, and I'm going to actually go out on a limb. I'm going to show you the best ending of all time, and I'm going to tell you why. So you better stick around.
Lawrence, only 2 kinds of creature get fun in the desert. Bedouins and gods, and you're neither. Take it from me. For ordinary men, it's a burning, fiery furnace.
No, Dryden. It's going to be fun.
It is recognized that you have a funny sense of fun.
This fantastic piece of music was written by Elmer Bernstein for this film, The Magnificent Seven. There was a time in the 60s and 70s when we heard this on our TVs every day because it became the Marlboro theme. And there was a time when nobody knew this was the Magnificent Seven score. It was simply a cigarette, a cowboy song for selling cigarettes. Originally a Japanese film called The Seven Samurai, directed by Akira Kurosawa. It was a great film, and it was even, or is even, I think, and quite controversial, a better film as the Americans took it. John Sturges directs this Magnificent Seven, turns it into a Western.
Darrow, my good friend, how are you? You have a drink?
I picked this clip because Eli Wallach is the antagonist, a Jewish actor from New York, creates the greatest Mexican bandito of all time. He rolls into town here and he explains to these local farmers why he has to take their food. He whines a bit about his lot in life and the difficulties it is being a bandito in these times as the kind of the West is fading, and that he needs to feed his men. He's got problems.
People no longer content with their station in life. Women's fashions, shameless. Cigar. Religion. You'd weep if you saw how true religion is now a thing of the past. Last month we were in San Juan, rich town. Sit down. Rich town, much blessed by God. Big church. Not like here. Little church, a priest counts twice a year. Big one. You think we find gold candlesticks, poor box filled to overflowing? You know what we found? Brass candlesticks. Almost nothing in the poor box.
We took it anyway.
I know we took it anyway. I'm trying to show him how little religion some people now have.
Thought I could see for myself.
Don't see. What if you had to carry my load, huh?
He originally created this character. You have to go back to How the West was won. There was a character called Gant.
One of these days, I'm likely to pay you Rawlins as a little visit.
He plays a great Mexican, I wouldn't say bandito, just sort of bad guy. Well, he gets recast for this film, Magnificent Seven, as Colvera, and basically knocks it out of the park. And if you know your film history, he has one more to go. He becomes Tuco in Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
How much? $20? No. $50.
That's when Eli Wallach threw in the towel and said, "That's it, Hollywood. No more Mexican banditos for this Jewish actor. I'm done."